What do you think of being described as a bankrupt? I mean, what did you learn from those two processes?
You learn a lot. I mean, it wipes you out completely financially and morally, and it's a very, very bitter pill to swallow. As an entrepreneur, you take risks. You take financial risks. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. You know, you need to look at people like Donald Trump, who's put a number of companies through bankruptcy. There are mechanisms in this country that make people bankrupt very, very quickly. And in other countries, there are ways through that type of bankruptcy period where you can avoid the stigma and everything attached to it. But here, you know, if you owe money and people call it, you're wiped out. And I am one of many thousands of people in this country who have been made bankrupt. And that is a fact of life. So I've not done anything wrong per se, apart from owing money. I've not stolen money from the company, misused the company administration for my own gains. It's purely that, you know, when things go wrong, they go wrong. And if you can't get out of it, you can't get out of it.
How have you made money?
Number of ways. My family and I have always dealt heavily in the Middle East. We've always had a big part in Libya. We've had a family office over there since the 70s.
During that time working in Libya then, did you meet the Gaddafis?
Yes, I did. Yeah, a number of occasions.
What was that experience like?
It was difficult. I was negotiating the Brega oil deal. I met Gaddafi a couple of times. I met one of his sons a few times.
Yeah. How would you compare dealing with the Gaddafi family with dealing with Sir Philip Green?
It was a difficult comparison, but Gaddafi Senior was nuts. I mean, he was completely insane in the latter years. And negotiating with him was actually slightly easier than it was with Philip.
Well, this germ of an idea is in your head about buying BHS. What did you know about BHS at that time? What drew you to it? Was it the fact that it was a well-known retailer, or was this an investment opportunity?
So I'd never been into BHS. I actually knew nothing at all about BHS apart from their high street retail store.
You'd never been into a BHS?
I'd never been into BHS.
Invariably, it is not right.
Parliamentary inquiry into BHS has seen Mr. Chappell derided by his one-time management colleagues.
Premier League liar, a Sunday pub league retailer.
He called you a Premier League liar and a Sunday League retailer.
Well, I'm not a retailer. Yes, I'm a Sunday League retailer. I'm not a retailer. I've never said from the very first day I walked into that business, I've always said, I know nothing about retail. You guys, the people we're backing, the people we're putting tens of millions of pounds worth behind, who tell us that you can turn this business around by retail alone, led by Darren Top, have let us down on that side of the retail business. The lie bit, you know, where does he get that from? He said because we didn't deliver the money we promised to deliver into the business. We delivered the money in every time they needed it, but when the dam starts bursting and they just ask you for more and more money faster and faster to keep up with the losses in the business, it becomes very, very difficult.
In another memorable transaction, Darren Top suggested that you threatened to kill him.
I was particularly annoyed with Darren. He yet once again had countermanded another board decision, a board decision. This was in very dire times, and I had a very, very strong and frank conversation with Darren, who was running the company for the shareholders of the company. I am the shareholder with my other two co-shareholders. And I did not use the word kill. I said, I will come and sort you out. I was going to come back, call a board meeting and sack him.
You probably know, Sir Philip Green absolutely maintains that if he had subordinated his claim, all it would have done was put off an inevitable death.
No, the inevitable death of that company was Philip not sorting out the pension regulating and not sorting out his moral hazard and that of Arcadia.
A lot of lessons.
There's a lot of lessons learned. It's been a very hard lesson to learn. I've got the devil on my back of 11,000 people out of work, which, you know, plays on me very deeply. I unreservedly, as I said, apologise for what's happened. There are 11,000 people that do not need to be unemployed or should not have been unemployed now. We tried our very hardest to save that business, even down to the 11th hour when it was looking very bad, when Philip was forcing the administration on us. We tried to do a deal with Mike Ashley.
Do you regret the fact that people think you are a chancer?
Chancellor, yeah, we took a chance with BHS. We were the only people to stick our head above the parapet and give it a go. We were the only people, out of all the people that know Philip, out of all the retailers out there, that were prepared to really work hard to do that. So if I'm a chancellor for that, well, yes, I am.
And the final thought, which is you are an entrepreneur, a capitalist. wouldn't it have sent out all the right signals for you to have said, look, I own this business, I want to build the value of my stake, but I don't need to take this vast salary out of it? Because you earn more in your stewardship than some people have earned from an entire lifetime working for BHS.
That's right, but also I took big risk going in, and it was a risk reward. We live in a risk reward society. That's the way, companies are built and fail. Did I take a lot of money out? Yes, I did. But did the business fail because of the money I took out? No, it didn't. This was just a drip in the ocean compared to the money that was needed to turn around BHS.
You say you took a big risk. It failed. Where's the comeback against you? You seem to have walked away a lot wealthier than you started it. So someone will say, risk reward, you haven't had any risk.
No, look, here we are now with the failure of the company 2 months ago. I still have responsibilities as director to the company. We are going through a number of investigations, parliamentary investigation, the pension investigation, etc. These cost tens of thousands of pounds worth of legal bills. Again, the lawyers are making huge amounts of money out of it.